welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Happy Thursday. How is everybody feeling today? I'm feeling really good. I got a very special episode or video for you guys today that is very near and dear to my heart because it's something that I think that all of us can really relate to and is something that I have been doing myself, which is reparenting yourself. Now, before we get into this video, I want you guys to make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, okay? Because we want to support the A-team. We are very close to 200K, guys. So if you guys like this video, share it to any of your platforms and also tag me on Instagram because I always really, like every time if I see it, it will get reposted, okay? I promise you. If I did not repost it, it is only because I didn't see it. And as you guys know, I try my absolute best to respond to as many comments as I can, which actually leads me to my next point. I kind of want to highlight this comment over here because it meant so much to me. All the love and all the positivity that you guys have been putting out there, your interaction amongst each other just means the absolute world to me. And I want you guys to know that this is definitely a safe space for you. And I want you guys to feel like you can transform, you can grow, and there's no judgment here. And also make sure that you are following me on Instagram at Aisha Christina Foster. And now let's get on into this video. So our childhood is where our subconscious mind is formed. We can only give others what we have practiced giving ourselves. So in other words, charity starts at home. In order to reparent yourself, you must give yourself what you did not receive as a child. So what I want you guys to do is relinquish any blame. It is not anyone's fault. And to consider this, that our parents and anyone really are doing the best that they can according to their level of consciousness or awareness. And our parents are humans too. You know, especially the older that we become, you realize that, oh my gosh, like, you know, you kind of idolize your parents as like these superheroes. And then you start to realize that, you know, sometimes they can come from a wounded place, you know, because there may be childhood traumas or unprocessed emotions in their lives. And they're coming from that place as it pertains to raising you. Now, I read an amazing article by the holistic psychologist, and she says that there are 4 pillars of reparenting. 1 is discipline, 2 is joy, 3 is emotional regulation, and 4 is self-care. As a lot of us know, a lot of our adulthood behaviors are formed from our childhood self rebelling, and it manifests itself in many different ways. That could be, you know, not being disciplined. That could be self-sabotage. And this is all solely based on our own unique childhood experiences. Like, for instance, finding joy. We have to discover and learn our passions and things that make us happy and things that we're interested in. And in order to do that, we have to find the root of what actually makes us happy. And if you grew up in an environment where you felt like your needs didn't really matter and everything to you was, you know, dictated and kind of was like a totalitarian type of dynamic, well, this may give you the tendency to, you know, always search for answers and joy in other people. And so you don't know how to find that within yourself because growing up, that was something that was absent in your environment at home. So, step 1 to reparenting yourself is to start small. Now, this process and journey can be very overwhelming. So you have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, getting very granular. Start small with things that you know that you can accomplish and then make it a routine. Like, for instance, making your bed. Say, okay, every day I'm going to make my bed. No matter what time I get up, I'm going to make sure that I make my bed. And if you guys know about success stories and people that, you know, are successful, they always have a routine. And I even remember for me, like trying to figure out a routine was very difficult for me to stick to. Like, I've always aspired to be super organized and have a routine, but it was something that I really struggled against. And that as I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing that I definitely think that this stemmed from me having a lot of like structure growing up and me not always wanting to adhere to to that structure. So in my adulthood, that was something that I had to overcome, realizing that I'm not rebelling against, something that is being dictated to me anymore. And it's okay. And I'm safe to create this routine for myself and not feel like I have to subconsciously rebel against that order, if that makes sense. Keep in mind that you want to set yourself up for success. That's why you want to write down things that you know that you can easily accomplish, because this is going to make you feel good knowing, okay, no matter how small, I got it done. Another thing that I like to do is I think about this quote, when you work, work, when you play, play. So I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos where I talk about the Pomodoro method. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's basically short time slots where you are working, you're focused working, whether that be 10, 15, 30 minutes. And then you have a 10-minute break or a 5-minute break. And it's breaking up these working and break sessions so that when you're working, you are focused on working. And when you have a break, all you're doing is having a break. Okay? Because, hello, I know all too well, we spend half of our time sort of focus kind of on our phone and kind of doing what it is that we want to do. But when you find something that works for you, and I promise you, angels, this is going to work for you. This is a very easy thing to incorporate in your life and to establish. All you have to do is Google. I do it all the time. I go on YouTube. There are so many resources out there where you can study with someone or work with someone in real time. And it feels like you have a study buddy with you, and you can take breaks when they take breaks and study when they study, and they have nice music. Sometimes it's all up to you how you want to approach it. But I highly suggest that this is something that you incorporate into your life, because this is going to help you on the grand scale of things to start to do things for yourself that you want to accomplish and actually get them done. Step number 2 is to talk to someone about your journey. I think as human beings, we all need to externally process. And I know sometimes I get messages and people are like, I don't have any friends and I don't have anyone that I can trust, or whatever the case is. And in that case, I do always recommend therapy or something. There has to be someone that you can trust, letting them know, hey, I'm on this journey to, bettering myself, reparenting myself, and I could really just use your support and things like that. And the holistic psychologist actually says to not talk about this with your parents specifically, because again, they're only doing the best that they can according to their level of awareness, and they can get defensive about your journey in reparenting yourself and, of course, be defensive, because it's not easy to kind of tell your parent hey, I don't really agree with how you did this in raising me and things like that. This journey is about you. Okay, you're going to do the work. You're going to take the accountability, and you can do it. Number 3 is to connect with your intuition. I talk about this all the time. We as women have such a unique gift to lean into our intuition. Let this be your guide for everything. You can connect with your intuition by simply asking yourself this question: what is in my control right now? What can I give myself right now? Because a lot of the times, in many cases, I'm sure there were times where we may have felt that our needs as children were not being met. So as adults, there's freedom in understanding that, hey, I have the opportunity to give myself what I need right now. And sometimes you're not always going to have the answer to that because you're so used to things being dictated to you. This is how you need to feel about this. This is what you need to do. This step, that step. So there will be a time where you kind of feel lost, where asking yourself these questions you don't even have the answer to. And it's like you realize you've just been on autopilot this entire time. And that can be frustrated. But I need you to stay committed to the process, because on this journey, this is a soul journey. Okay. It's going to require all of you. It's going to require all of your effort. And you're not in this alone. I'm here with you. Okay. We're all on this journey together of being the best version ourselves that we can be. And it's important for us to remember and understand that we need to recognize our wants, our desires, and our needs, because if you don't, you're always going to search for that in someone else. And you kind of become this bottomless pit where no matter what, you just can't seem to find that true source of happiness. Because if it's not created foundationally within yourself, outsourcing is not sustainable. Because we're human beings. We're not infallible. We disappoint each other here and there, whether it was our intention or not. And lastly, number 4 is to celebrate yourself. This is something that I have personally learned myself. Like I said, this is a tough journey. You need to be self-actualized so that your accomplishments are not contingent on other people's recognition. If we cannot do this, and if we don't do this, we tend to disregard our own efforts. So celebrate yourself whenever you show up for yourself. Have a reward system. This is something that my therapist has actually taught me. Like, I remember I used to struggle so much with like waking up in the morning, and that was originally why I got a therapist. Was I was having so much trouble with my motivation, and I was so tired of having days where I would be super motivated and then I would literally counteract those days by not even wanting to get out of bed, and I just could not figure out why. And it was just so frustrating, like cycling that same behavior over and over again and not like feeling in control about it. And she told me like, all right, well, what is a routine that you can set up for yourself where you have a reward system going? So when you get out of bed in the morning, what is your reason for getting up? Instead of just, rolling out of bed and then getting on Instagram, which is so addicting, you waste so much time getting up, from your sleep and then like allowing so much foreign energy into yourself in the morning, or when you wake up, I should say. I wouldn't suggest that. So it's like, okay, I have a routine now where it's like I wake up, I spread my bed all the time, every day. I will like spray my room because I love scents, I love smells, and I will go downstairs, I'll make myself, a tea or a coffee or something like that, and that is kind of like my reward system. And when I'm sitting down, then I'll allow myself to maybe go on Instagram, YouTube, something like that, so that at least I'm not in my bed when I'm doing it, because you get so comfortable in your bed, you either 1, fall back asleep, or 2, end up just spending 2-3 hours on Instagram. And you ever wake up in the morning and then by the time you get up, it is no longer morning? Yeah. Been there, done that, very guilty. And it's frustrating and it gets discouraging when you feel out of control and that you constantly keep doing the same thing and you know that you don't like the outcome, but you can't stop doing it. Trust me, I completely understand that. And this is why I realized the significance in celebrating myself when I show up and having that reward system, no matter how trivial that may be. Because I think initially I was thinking to myself, what am I celebrating every little thing for? Like, I don't want to make myself feel like everything I'm doing is so grand. And it's not even about that. It's about the fact that, hey, I did something that I said I was going to do, and getting that, gratification of knowing that I accomplished it and giving myself the satisfaction of knowing that I was able to reward myself is something that's very good for any person to incorporate into their lives. And even going outside, I make it a point to go outside at least once a day. I work from home. It's so easy to just like stare outside the window and not go anywhere. And I learned like, okay, I'm going to make sure I go outside. I'm getting some sunlight at least one time in the day so that I'm not like getting lost in the monotony of things. And I know that I do focus a lot on dating on this channel, but that is only because every relationship, I believe, is very important, but namely the relationship that you have with yourself is very important. And when I make videos like this, it is really to help you guys and to help, be thought-provoking to you guys so that you're thinking about what is making me attract these types of people, dynamics, frustrations within myself, and things like that. These are the answers. This is the work that you need to do to be able to attract the right dynamics, because it's so easy to try and outsource all of these things, but it's not sustainable. And realizing the power in reparenting ourselves and that we have the ability to change so many different things is a powerful place to come from. And taking ownership and getting in the driver's seat, like I said, is very, very important. Okay, so with that being said, that is the end of this video, angels. Do not forget that I love you and God loves you, and I'll see you, angels, in my next video. Mwah. And also, make sure that your post notifications are turned on. Do not think that I forgot that. I may have forgot to put that in the beginning, but you're not slick. If you, first of all, you're really gonna watch only one of my videos? Really? No. You're gonna watch another one, so you might as well subscribe. Hello, like it's free. Just do it. I love you. Mwah.